In a pleasant, cool morning and coupled with the invigorating ambience of IIT Delhi, let us kickstart one of the most promising and momentous symposiums on digital library. I, Srijoni Majumdar, research scholar, IIT Kharagpur, India, take immense pleasure to welcome you all to the NDLI-UNESCO International Symposium on Knowledge Engineering for Digital Library Design 2019. I now request the organizing chair, Dr. Nabi Hassan, to come on stage and welcome the dignitaries with the saplings. I request the General Co-Chair UNESCO, Mr. Isaac Dlamini, to come on stage. I request the program co-chair, Professor Paul DeClaw, to come on stage. I request the General Co-Chair, NDLI, Professor Partha Pratim Das, to come on stage. Thank you all. I now request Dr. Nabi Hassan, librarian, IIT Delhi, and organizing chair of KEDL 2019, to welcome the delegates.
Good morning, Delhi. So, welcome to IIT Delhi, to this beautiful campus and world-class institution. Chief guest of this morning, our director, Professor Ram Gopal Rao, Mr. Ezekiel Damini, General Co-Chair, UNESCO, Dr. Paul, Program Co-Chair, Professor P.P. Das, General Co-Chair and the person behind this whole show, my mentor Mary from Cornell, speakers, session chairs, moderators, delegates, colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I extend you a very warm welcome to this inaugural function of KEDL Edition 2. We have been planning for this event with all the partners from August last year, 2018. And believe me, the journey to this stage was very challenging. As an organizing chair of this event, I would first like to thank NDLI and UNESCO for reposing faith in us for hosting this event at IIT Delhi. NDLI is a project which has exceeded all the expectations of the people, and the second phase was started even before the due date. In one of the meetings of the project approval boards, which I attended on behalf of my director, Secretary Higher Education Mr. R. Subramaniam appreciated this project a lot because it has exceeded all its expectations. We have about 300 registered professionals because it was very restricted conference for invited speaker and invited participants only, from 15 countries and different parts of India. And we hope to learn many new things with a lot of deliberations and networking. Sir, I would like to share that IIT Delhi Library System is the early adopter of innovative technologies and has been declared as the National Resource Center for offering the ARPIT MOOCs in Library Information Sciences for whole India for the year 2019 by the Ministry of HRD, Government of India. We have one of the youngest and most talented library team of the country. The library team and the Central Library have achieved several distinctions and awards during a couple of years because of the work culture, dedication and the freedom that has been given to us by the administration. I hope that the deliberations during these 3 days would be of immense value and professional importance, and issues, strategies, changes, and challenges of the libraries and librarianship in the digital plus era would be discussed in a highly purposeful manner. There would be several groundbreaking presentations by experts and young researchers from all across the globe, and the KEDL too would provide you all a meaningful platform for exchanging ideas, sharing knowledge, and expose you to several new and emerging trends in the profession. You will also get good networking opportunities at tea breaks, lunch, dinner, stay places, and in exhibition and poster area. I would like to thank all my colleagues in IIT Delhi, right from administration and accounts to the central library team, for their untiring efforts from a couple of months. However, the biggest credit goes to the director IIT Delhi, who helped, supported, and guided us in the planning and execution, and was kind enough to waive most of the charges for this event. I would conclude by thanking all the honorable guests and participants on the dais and off the dais for sparing their valuable time for the KEDL 2, and also for coming to this beautiful campus, a world-class institute of eminence, which has also started the endowment fund with an amount of over 250 crore, a unique initiative by our director IIT Delhi, first of its kind in India, launched by the President of India. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan, for the welcome. I now request Professor Partha Pratim Das, General Co-Chair NDLI, Joint Principal Investigator NDLI, to address the symposium.
Professor Ram Gopal Rao, Director, IIT Delhi, Patron, KEDL 2019, and Chief Guest of today's inauguration program. Mr. AJK Ramani, my Co-General Chair, Professor Paul D. Claw, Program Chair, Dr. Navi Hassan, Organizing Chair, whole team of NDLI, IIT Delhi, delegates, students, friends. It is just wonderful to welcome you all to this edition of Knowledge Engineering for Digital Library Design to IIT Delhi, University of Technology Delhi, a great institute of our country, an institute of eminence, and a big pillar of support for the whole initiative of National Digital Library of India. The whole concept of, or the germination of KEDL, Knowledge Engineering for Digital Library Design, started happening in towards the end of 2016, when many of us were present at a conference organized by TERI in December 2016, as I remember, the conference called ICDL. We heard a lot of experts. We had been in the early stage of the project. We are struggling, rediscovering wheels, and that is when we realized that there is a need for India to have international collaboration in terms of knowledge sharing in knowledge engineering at a much broader level. We needed a platform to get started at an international level, and UNESCO very generously came forward. The then advisor in UNESCO, Mr. Yusuf Al-Amin, invited us to hold the first KEDL 2017 in October 25 to 27th. I'm mentioning the date because it was meant to be organized during the International Open Access Week. It was attended by over 30 speakers from across the world. It was a big success and really kept the momentum going, gave us a lot of opportunities for interaction and learning. So before we get started with this edition of 2019, I would like to take you through a brief summary of what we observed in the 2017 conference. We have a small video So I'll request the AV team to play the video so that you can just see where you are coming from.
Let's say the future digital library will be everywhere, but the question is, will it be a library?
Today people talk about smart society, smart cities, but essentially what it means is that it's driven by knowledge. So I think digital technologies have, perhaps the key role of digital technologies have been to completely transform the production, the sharing of knowledge.
We're now in a very digital world, a world that needs to be able to extract this material online. Students anywhere can access anything from anywhere across the world.
Digital culture changed the ways that we interact. We keep conversations, we find each other, we share information, we collaborate. So if you try to understand this new kind of social practice, you need to develop new tools.
And people want to feel like they can discover stuff and keep exploring and keep, if they want to go down a rabbit hole, they can go down a rabbit hole. If they feel excited by something that they didn't expect to feel excited by, they can follow that a little bit. So that's the sort of experience that we want to create.
Social media is getting serious now. People are doing real serious things as well as frivolous things, but and using it for education, etc. So that they need reliable, easily accessible, factual information that they can get in the environment they're in.
It's not that everybody wants the entire information in the world. Everybody wants specific information. Nobody wants to spend a lot of time in discovery of the information.
I do believe whatever nation that has got people with knowledge is not poor.
One of the natural ideas that came was to have a digital library. Considering that 90% of the students in the higher education stream do not have access to a proper library.
Every village, every home, the students from any section will be able to access the contents digitally.
We have to ensure in some way, shape or form that we don't leave anybody out, that people who want to use the library are able to do so because they understand how to navigate it, they understand how to find the information.
Today, we have to develop user-friendly systems. We have to develop a website so that students can come in. They don't need any assistance. They can make their own flow, they can make their own scheme, they can exploit the website, they can find their own way, they can come finally to interesting sources. And then of course they must be accessible.
What's required of digital librarians is to understand the ramifications of that technology and how to apply it, how to sell it, how to advocate it, how to bring about the potential changes that are needed in a cultural sense.
I see digital library as one of the possible directions for this purpose.
Each and every librarian, they must know the online access, online preservation, and then digitization of the content which are available in their own libraries.
We need some consistency. There are many valuable digital library projects out there, and we've seen some at this conference being presented. They're all different. They're all using different data models. They're all using different approaches.
We can see a lot of ways where perhaps there are features built into the product that aren't ideal for a wider audience. So at the moment I'm seeking funding to re-engineer the core product, make it much more modular, so we can maybe take out some of the pieces that are only relevant to us and make it easier for other users to adapt to their needs and to create new plugins and hopefully to help us with our roadmap, and we can co-develop features and get the best benefit out of the fact that the product is open source.
What these resources will give to Indians is access. It will not give to Indians method. Method is irreplaceable.
We are talking about cultural heritage domain. If Indologist is working on manuscripts, so he would prefer that he should have all kind of manuscripts available for research.
It's great to have the vision. You need the big vision. You need to know this is why you're doing it and what you're doing it for, but you need to do it in small steps.
The technologies that I'm using in the digital project library, am I infringing somebody or am I not? So that's the first analysis that I need to do.
So many people involved, so much expertise has been put into the project, and still so much energy behind it, and so much ambition to go ahead.
I think that the National Digital Library of India is going to be a phenomenal resource, not only for India, but for the entire world. And so, selfishly, as a user from abroad, I cannot wait to be able to have access to the treasures that this country has to offer.
We want to set up a strong infrastructure in school education, because that is one of the major target areas.
The objective is to overcome all the challenges by harnessing technology, including artificial intelligence and machine learning, to ensure that we are able to reach anyone, anytime, anywhere. On reaching these goals, we shall be able to sleep in peace when our dreams are successful and our conscience is clear.
It's always people. Machines themselves were invented by people. So what is very interesting to see is how social uses of innovations develop.
Let's say the future digital library will be everywhere, but the question is?
So this is just a little roundup on the questions that were discussed in 2017. It has been 2 years since, a lot of progress has been made, and a lot of new questions have been found, answers have been found. So in 2019 edition of KEDL, I hope we'll be able to have a very good roundup of the current state of the art and in which direction do we need to move. Welcome you all to the symposium, and I hope you'll have an excellent experience over the next 3 days. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the motivation and directions. I think we are all geared up for KEDL 2019 now. It is our honor to have Professor V. Ram Gopal Rao, IIT Delhi Director, as the chief guest of the KEDL's 2019 Symposium. In 2019, NDLI had first published a custom calendar featuring a landmark library for each month of the year. On the same footsteps, NDLI is proud to offer its 2020 calendar, 366 leaves featuring 366 people or events with QR-coded links to corresponding contents in NDLI. I request Professor V. Ram Gopal Rao to release the KEDL program brochure and the 2020 NDLI calendar. I now request Professor V. Ramgopal Rao to deliver the chief guest address to the symposium.
Good morning, Mr. Ezekiel Lamini, General Co-Chair UNESCO, Dr. Paul, Program Chair, Professor P.P. Das, Dr. Nabi Hassan, all the participants, delegates from various parts of the world, India, and from people from this own institute. NDLI, as you all know, is a project of Ministry of Human Resources and Development at IIT Kharagpur. And in fact, they did so well in the project that I am told even before the first phase got completed, they were awarded the second phase. So I think that is one of the very successful projects in India. And so this particular symposium, as you all know, is second in the series and coordinated by the National Digital Library of India. The primary objective is, again, you all know, sharing of technical, policy and administration related knowledge pertaining to digital library design. And the first one, as Professor Das mentioned, was in October 2017. So I think we are expecting, I'm told, about 400 delegates from at least 15 different countries. And so I would like to welcome all of you to IIT Delhi. So that's my one of the first and pleasant kind of jobs. And at IIT Delhi, I think as you all might know, we have a good central library. And we do spend a lot of money, at least it's a $3 million per year kind of a budget the library has, keeping aside the manpower and other things, just the books and subscriptions, that's the kind of a money that we spend right now. And all of us think that any money spent in library is good money. So I think so nobody would hesitate to spend more or give more money to library. And but I think, as you all know, I think you are all experts. I am not. I am an electrical kind of an engineer. But I think looking at the way things are changing, the role of library is changing very fast. So it used to be when we were all undergraduate students, you go to library to get a book, which you cannot buy because the books are not affordable for all students. So we used to go to library and go through these huge stacks of books and look for some book, but in the process you find many more books, and that is how it became very interesting. So you were looking for something, but in the process of searching you found something more interesting, and that's how you learn things, and it always remained as a wonderful experience. But now today, I think with Google getting better and better, so you get the book that you want, and in the process we stopped reading the books which are around us, around those particular concepts, I think, which is also in a way hampering probably the creativity in many ways. I think I still believe that going to library, just going through those stacks of books, the old-fashioned way, is still the best way to learn and discover something new. I think at IIT Delhi we don't have a problem of getting students to go to library because students go to library for multiple reasons. Because these are private spaces where you can, without any interruption, you can spend time learning something. Or, many alumni, IIT Delhi Library particularly caters to a large number of alumni, unlike I'm sure IIT Kharagpur, because many people who graduate out of this institute hang around this place and they're all preparing for some examination or the other, and we have actually a dedicated section in library for alumni right now. I think they are all using the library for career development purposes. And faculty, I think for us now, mostly you rely on the library for research papers, and these are all available online. So I am not sure how many faculty we are able to attract to the library, but I think everybody has a reason to go to library, and that is how it should be. And for some people in the summer, in the hot summer of Delhi, you are here during the winter now, but in the hot summer, the temperatures can become very high. So for many, going to library would mean an air-conditioned comfort, where you are not disturbed and you can, peacefully stay and do something. Even sleep. I think I am told many people even go there to have a good nap, kind of a thing. I think it serves many purposes for many people, which is good. And the digital thing for us is easier access. I think we are all looking at the digital domains because anytime, like what Professor Chakrabarti was mentioning, anyone, anytime, anywhere kind of an access. That's all what it means for us. But I think though we all want it to be that way, but the business models of all of these publishers are pushing us in a completely different direction. So though it looks ideally that is how we want our libraries to evolve, but I think these financial models are not allowing us to do that. And there are a lot of restrictions on who can access, how they can access, how many times they can access. I think a lot of things are coming into picture. That is where even at the national level there is a discussion going on at the highest levels now. I think that will also go to cabinet for approvals and all that, where can we all as a country start to negotiate better kind of financial models with the publishers, and then make the access more available for people. Because India is also a very diverse country. While in IIT Delhi, we can afford to spend $3 million every year on a library, I think there are at least 99% of institutions where that's a lot of money. And they will not be able to access anything. But then how do we help them in some way in achieving all of that? To me, I think the future of libraries are going to be idea factories. I think, those days where you go to library to read something or to do something, all that will be gone. I think, another 10 years from now, all our hostels will be air conditioned, all our spaces will also look as good as the spaces in the library. I don't think, because of those reasons, anybody would go to library. I think at IIT Delhi, we would definitely like to see our library become an idea factory, more like the discussion forums where people, online they meet and then they go to library, they will have a private space where they talk to each other, discuss things, and then read some books, and then have discussions right there on the different perspectives different people gain out of reading the same content. I think those are the kinds of interesting things that need to happen around library, and I'm sure we will soon move to those sort of kind of things. And it's also in a very diverse country like India, the library also needs to be a melting pot for different ideologies, different cultures, different thoughts, and I think it has to be more a very interesting kind of a place and a very welcoming kind of a place. I think IIT Delhi definitely needs a much bigger, much better library. I think hopefully we will soon have that at some point of time. And right now, with whatever we have, I think we are doing a good job. Since Dr. Nabi Hassan has joined, we realize what a library can do. I think he has been very proactive and taking lots of initiatives. But I think IIT Delhi Library needs to go to that next level. And recently I was in NCSU in Raleigh. I mean, they have a huge library, and many of the students go there not to read a book, but just to go and discuss with others and talk to each other and share ideas, exchange ideas, their own private spaces, and it was such a welcoming kind of a place. I think our libraries sooner or later need to move to that sort of a model. I hope you will have a great time at IIT Delhi, and I hope the pollution also will be less in the next few days, that you don't have to worry about the air you breathe. And but I think as long as you are on this campus, I think everything is safe, everything is fine, and it's a great time for all of us to host you, and I am sure you will also have a great time learning from each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor V. Ram Gopal Rao. I now request Dr. B. Shutradhar, International Relations Chair and Librarian, IIT Kharagpur, to present the chief guest at the memento. Professor Partha Pratim Chakrabarti, Principal Investigator, NDLI, has been a visionary leader in the development of NDLI. We regret that he is not able to attend the inauguration of the symposium. However, we have a video message from Professor Chakrabarti. I would request the AV team to play the video now.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of the National Digital Library of India, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, I heartily welcome all of you to KEDL 2019. The world today has got 4 dimensions, including the real, the virtual, the imaginary, and the information world. Together, all of these make an impact on the way people learn and grow. Digital libraries, as you all know, have become the next generation paradigm for people to empower themselves with knowledge and contribute to the knowledge gathering of this world. In its 4 years of lifetime, the National Digital Library of India has started making an enormous impact in the lives of people in India, connecting 50 lakh users, providing 40 million indexed content. Since KEDL 2017, we have made some significant strides. These include creation of verticals in various domains, including a new vertical in the area of image banks of medical data. All this will ensure that the learning is deeper, more powerful, and more integrative. As we jump onto the next paradigms, we at KEDL 2019 wish to renew our vows. And what we wish to now do is to provide the next generation artificial intelligence and machine learning paradigms. We are building around the National Digital Library of India the National AI Resource Platform, which in addition to the search and browse of NDL will provide Learn, which will be a more augmented teaching platform, and Compute, which will provide the next generation people the ability to compute while they learn. The other important concept that we are going to introduce in NDL is to enable people to contribute back to NDL. The NDL clubs have already started, and through this, we are now going to create communities by which people will start contributing back to NDL to make sure that this forms a society of learning on its own, where it will grow inorganically as well as organically. I welcome all of you to KEDL 2019. We look forward to your vision, your guidance, and all the objectives and thoughts that you have. Please feel free to share with us so that we are able to work with all of your knowledge, with all of your thoughts, with all of your experiences, and become a platform that brings about the change that is required in an ever-changing world. Thank you for coming, and I look forward to a very, very thoughtful and very, very invigorating proceedings that will make us jump and leap to the next step forward. Thank you and welcome.
Shri Subramaniam R., IAS Secretary, Department of Higher Education, MHRD, has been the visionary and prime mover of NDLI. Due to unavoidable circumstances, he is not able to attend the symposium in person. He is with us through Skype. I now request him to address the symposium as we are actually trying to connect through Skype. Can you please bear with us? Yeah, he's there.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us from here? Good morning to all the participants of this conference. Professor Partha Pratim Chakrabarti, Professor Ram Gopal Rao, Director, IIT Delhi, Professor PPD, Partha Pratim Das, who has been really steering this effort forward, and all the dignitaries who have come. Friends, I have great pleasure in looking at this gathering, primarily because this is one of the cherished aims of MHRD in trying to see how the great effort of National Digital Library can be internationalized, where how we can bring in partnerships between various international organizations, primarily organizations like UNESCO, who have established a big repository of digital resources, and see how we can further improve the availability of knowledge resources to the students here in this country. Friends, as you know, NDL has been one of the most successful and most significant efforts of Ministry of HRD. It has been, in fact, I would say that this is one of our flagship programs in order to connect digital resources from across the universities. And the concept is very simple, that you can have any good libraries, but when you bring in thousands of libraries together, then that power is something which we can never get. You can never build up that sort of resources in a single university or a single institution. So with this simple concept, something like basically collectivization of all the resources using the digital technology has been the source of the starting point of the NDL journey. And when it was handed over to IIT Kharagpur, number of people said that Kharagpur is, it's in a corner, its connectivity may not be very good, it may be a very unwise move. But I am so delighted to observe that this wonderful team of NDL set up by Professor Partha Pratim Chakrabarti, Partha Pratim Das, has actually delivered something which all of us feel very proud of, the entire country is very, very proud of, by putting in the entire digital technology, the entire metadata system, and now the National Digital Library is quoted as one of the best examples of how a government can facilitate, building up all the libraries. I keep getting number of NGOs who keep coming to me, stating that NDL is now such a good resource that they would like to spread it into all the villages. Take this resource to various villages, because we have now resources in various languages also, regional languages, and then ensure that people would make use of this resource. In the NDL, what we are really looking at is the future of how we want to go, is that we want to connect to the digital libraries across the world, and then see how, by sharing of these resources, whether we can help in building better resource base for the students in this country. We have asked many times, in fact, this connectivity with UNESCO has started during the time of Mr. K.K. Sharma, who was the former secretary, my predecessor here. So he was very keen that we must connect to UNESCO and then get this done. I'm so happy that this is happening, and I hope this particular workshop, this knowledge exchange forum, would result in concrete measures in order to take this NDL experiment forward. I would like to state that providing digital knowledge to large number of people is only the first step, but not the last step. I am very worried about the rapid decline of the reading culture among the student population. With the coming up of the very modern and efficient search engines, the solution, the answer for every question is very easily available. And that, I think, is the biggest challenge for the society, because people are getting answers without actually studying anything. And that is going to lead to decline of the thinking powers, cognitive skills, is my fear. And I think, therefore, the efforts like NDL should help students to start reading more, to start discussing more, so that the cognitive skills get improved, their knowledge base expands, and they are not simply looking at just instant solutions for every question. So it is therefore essential that we take this step forward to the campuses, to the students, and then the starting of the NDL clubs, so that the students will start discussing the books that they have read on the NDL, and then thereby improving the culture of reading. Friends, I also want to state that we need to look at combining lot of MOOC material to NDL. As you know, under the SWAYAM portal, we have now created more than 2,800 courses. And many of the people who are sitting here have also given courses under SWAYAM. And today, the SWAYAM platform has got more than 1.3 crore learners. If it is possible to combine the SWAYAM portal, the SWAYAM digital content with the NDL, so that the people can, with a single window, get access not only to knowledge resources, best of the lectures by the best teachers in this country. I think that will be a great step forward. I would like this conference to deliberate on this and see how we can bring this technological solution. Thirdly, we have IIT Delhi has been the nodal institution for this. We have developed lots of virtual laboratories. Virtual labs is a great boon for the rural areas and semi-urban area colleges, which are not able to have adequate number of laboratory facilities. So, through the virtual lab, you can actually get access to the best of knowledge resources, again doing experimentation on the on a virtual mode. So these labs can be made available using NDL. I think this will further improve the content of NDL and take it forward. So I therefore feel that the future of NDL lies in more internationalization on one hand, and more localization on the other. More localization meaning that taking this to the last the most important stakeholder, that is the student. So I think a broadening on one hand and sharpening focus on the other is an approach that we would like to take, and I'm sure with the sort of leadership that we have in India, nothing is impossible, and I think this will flourish to be one of the biggest sources of knowledge sharing, not only in India but also in the world. So I wish this conference all the success. I'm sorry I could not actually. I wanted to meet all of you and then hear your views. But thanks to the Parliament in session and a few unruly incidents here and there, so I'm forced to stay back here. So, but I wish this conference all the very best, and all of you. And I would really look forward to the what are the messages that we can take out of this conference for improving our education system. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you, Subramaniam ji. I now request Professor Paul D. Claw, Program Co-Chair, to tell us briefly about the thoughts behind the program of KEDL 2019.
Morning, everybody. As you just heard, I'm going to talk a little bit about the theme of this year's KEDL program. So the program theme this year comprised Professor Partha Mukhopadhyay and Professor Plaban Kumar Bhowmik. And we had a number of discussions about possible themes for this year's program. And we settled on the theme of smart and open technologies for digital libraries. And we focused on this really as a way of focusing the talks, the discussions that are going to be taking place over the next few days, and kind of hopefully nurturing the kind of discussions that are going to happen. So I guess how do we come up with that theme? Well, as we were kind of talking about, I guess there were kind of those two main areas that were driving our discussions, the areas of smart, the areas of open. Well, I guess the first one, the notion of smart or intelligence, has probably seen the most kind of visibility within the field of smart cities. But this includes the use of digital technologies, of AI, machine learning to drive intelligent applications. And I guess we wanted to have an opportunity really to discuss how does this affect and inform the field of digital libraries. However, I think also there's a growing interest at the moment in the role that libraries, information services, that digital libraries can actually play within this smart ecosystem. As actually these, you know, the libraries, the digital libraries, the information services, they're vital to fostering knowledge, interconnectivity and intelligence. But our discussions didn't just revolve around smart technologies. We also recognised the continued interest and the need, the vital need for open source, for open access, for open scholarship, and ultimately an open culture with regards to sharing knowledge and experiences within the field of digital libraries. We're going to see and hear a number of speakers in this symposium talking around various aspects that will be a way of sharing knowledge, experiences. And we hope that this will be a way of developing an open culture around the design, the implementation, and the use of digital libraries today. So a huge thank you to all the speakers who've come over to share their experiences, their knowledge. A massive thank you to people who are going to be on our panels, and a massive thank you to all of you for attending KEDL 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Paul Dicloff, for the program roundup. Since 2017, UNESCO has been the pillar of support behind NDLI in terms of internationalization of the learning agenda. So I now request Mr. Ezekiel Dlamini, General Co-Chair UNESCO, to address the symposium and share his thoughts on the NDLI-UNESCO collaboration. Up to you, sir.
Professor Rao, our chief guest and host and director of IIT, thank you, sir, for allowing us to use this fantastic facility. Dr. Hassan, thank you for your facilitation and for being with us on the journey towards organizing this symposium. Professor Das, thank you very much for your leadership, for your energy and enthusiasm for KEDL 2019. As a new coming player and partner in this very, very now international and globally recognized symposium, I'm learning a lot from you, and I hope this will continue. Thank you, sir. Professor Paul, thank you again for supporting us with ideas. I didn't have a chance to meet you before today, but I know that you have been helping us with ideas and putting together the program for the symposium. Distinguished delegates, experts, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Libraries have always been an essential part of creating and maintaining an educated and illiterate society. They are the hubs of information and knowledge that support formal and informal learning systems. The prominence of libraries in educational institutions is a clear testimony to the central role they play in reinforcing education. However, like many institutions, or rather, like many institutionalized systems, libraries are experiencing technological disruptions. With the advent of information technologies, libraries have to rethink and re-engineer the way they serve their communities. Digital libraries, such as the National Digital Library of India, are paving the way for accessing and managing digital library systems. The NDLI brings together state-of-the-art IT-enabled systems, tools, and digital resources on an unprecedented scale. It is a discovery platform that allows easy access to digital libraries around the world. UNESCO is proud to be associated with the groundbreaking work that the NDLI has achieved. For UNESCO, the NDLI is part of a portfolio of transformational programs that seek to harness ICTs, yes, correct, ICTs in order to build knowledge societies. And I should add that not forgetting information seekers with disabilities. Indeed, supporting initiatives such as the NDLI is integral to our mandate of promoting the free flow of ideas by word and image, and to the UN's broader goal of leaving no one behind. UNESCO has a long history of promoting library development, including digital libraries. For instance, UNESCO collaborated with the Library of Congress to develop the World Digital Library. Through its programs, UNESCO promotes information access, information literacy, information ethics, information preservation, and multilingualism in cyberspace. UNESCO looks forward to working with you to ensure that libraries and archives remain relevant to our development, just as they have been in the world of books, as they are in today's world of online digital information, and as they should be in the future in the world of artificial intelligence. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dlamini. I now request Dr. B. Shutradhar, International Relations Chair and Librarian, IIT Kharagpur, to present the mementos to the dignitaries. Thank you, Dr. B. Sutradhar. I now request Dr. Partha Pratim Das, General Co-Chair NDLI, Joint Principal Investigator NDLI, to present the vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks is customary, but in the morning today it comes from the deepest of my heart. First, thanks to the entire team on stage, backstage, around for being on time. India is considered to be on IST, Indian Standard Time, but I'm really thankful to the entire team that we have been on time and the conference is getting off to a great start. Of course, my deepest thanks go to IIT Delhi, the entire IIT Delhi team led by Professor Ram Gopal Rao, the director, Dr. Nobi Hassan, the organizing chair and librarian, Neeraj ji sitting in the front, Dr. Neeraj Chaurasia, and several of the library and other departmental staff, IRD, everybody who has really made this a smooth journey for us. We are located in Kharagpur, so it's been a virtual organization from our side, and every brunt of the rough edges, whether it's vendor negotiation to actual physical integration of the stuff, everything has been taken care of by the IIT Delhi team. And on behalf of KEDL and NDLI, I'm really thankful to IIT Delhi team. Thank you. When we partner with someone as international as UNESCO, you get a support at a completely different level. You get a support which makes you soulful, which makes you rich internally to do things right. And I'm really happy to have the support of the UNESCO New Delhi office, their headquarters. Through our entire journey, I would not like to thank UNESCO merely for coming together in KEDL 2019. We have been together and we dream to be together. Just I have a little heavy heart. Indrajit, we do miss you. I met you for 2 days during 2017, and the directions you had given, I hope we are being able to meet up to that. And we'll continue to do that. Thank you. Nothing can happen without generous support of funds and directions of monitoring. I'm really thankful to the secretary that not only he's been supporting, but he was very generous in appreciating us. He has always been. But much of the credit that NDL project can take till date, and much of the aspiration that it has been possible because of the close monitoring and guidance from the ministry. Led by Subramaniam ji, several others, including sitting in the audience, our two close advisors, Gurinder Malik ji and Parameshwaran ji, and several others in the team, have really made this possible. And it's been a project where it's not just that ministry comes, we go and say that we'll do this, and you go through the DPR and the process, and funds are given, and you say, thank you, sir, I've got your money. It's not been that. It's been a true partnership between the ministry and the team at different institutions, including IIT Kharagpur. So I would like to thank MHRD for all this support. I thank international community. I would not be able to name all of them. Many came forward to become technical sponsors of this KEDL conference. Europeana, Wikimedia Foundation in particular, they have started supporting us for last couple of years through knowledge sharing, through networking, through providing platforms where we have regularly voiced our views. We have been able to take India to different corners of the world thanks to several international partners. I would really like to thank them for their presence as well. I would like to thank back home a very sound partner in Terry, who had been our host in several of their events. They have helped us. They have helped us in organizing this. Thank you, Terry, and for the kind information of the audience. After this inaugural session, when we get into the technical sessions, the entire of the technical sessions of the conference are being managed completely by a team of professionals. They do so much of events that I call them professional event managers, though they are actually not that, they are researchers themselves, led by Dr. Partho Bhattacharya and Shantanu Ganguly. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Naturally, I thank all the participants from within India, from across the border, neighbors, as well as distant participants, speakers, panelists, for your presence and making this a success. Finally, NDL project or KEDL would not have happened without the team that we have back home. I'm really proud for them, proud for our committee members, national as well as international. There is one person who never choose to come in front of camera, but probably in the audience, most people know him. He goes by the name of Mr. Nandagopal Chattopadhyay. Nand. Thank you, Nand. Thank you, Dr. Shutradhar. He is our host in the sense that the entire NDL project which occupies 1 floor, is housed in his library and currently mentored by Professor K.P. Sinha Mahapatro, the chairman of the library. So thank you all for giving us the support, and thank you, Plavon, for leading this ahead. Thank you, Partho, for making a great program. I cannot naturally spell out all the names, but it has been a great journey possible for all of you. And finally, I thank our MC, my dear student, Srijali. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Das. I now invite all to join for tea in the Red Square. Thank you. Yeah, outside of this hall. You need to go out, and then there's a beautiful ambience waiting for you.